we know we're depressed?
Feel unhappy, miserable.
Okay, so you've come to, in your own mind, to say this feeling that I'm feeling is unhappiness. I relate this feeling with unhappiness. And what I'm saying to you is when that feeling comes, see if you can drop the analyzation of saying this is unhappy and see if you can actually explore that feeling. Because the moment you attach unhappiness to that feeling, it's unhappiness. But if you don't attach the analyzation to that feeling, you have to go explore that feeling now because you don't know what it is. You're saying, oh, I'm putting down what I think this is, what I've come to believe this is, that this is unhappiness, and I'm going to actually go in and see what this really is. Not through a belief or a thought or an idea, but I'm going to actually feel this feeling and see what's there. He's having me wrap it up.
Okay. This could go, this could be an all-nighter.
Absolutely.
I was trying to be as subtle as I possibly could.
Not a problem. Yes, sir.
Can anyone change their way of thinking or feeling? If you have an emotional feeling about fear, say you're going to have a surgery in the morning,
right,
and you're worried because you don't know if you're going to wake up from the anesthesia. How do you overcome that fear? What substitutes that fear?
Again, the overcoming of it is the problem. If we're trying to overcome something, we feel that fear. You feel that fear of saying, wow, I might die, I might not wake up. And you're trying to battle against that, you're in conflict. Instead, what I would say is, all right, this is fear. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this anxiety towards this. What is this feeling? What am I afraid? Not psychologically, not mentally. What am I afraid of? I know what I'm afraid of. This actual feeling. We don't go to that feeling. We go to the thoughts. We go to, well, it's because of this. It's because of that. It's because of this. We don't actually look at the real feeling. We're afraid to face the feeling. When you face that feeling, when it starts to come over and you feel anxious, which we label as anxious, when you start to feel that, say, instead of calling this anxiousness, let me not call it anything. Let me not analyze this and live with this feeling for a moment. Let me see what happens if I do that. We never do that. We never do that. As soon as you do that, you've changed your whole thinking. Your whole thinking has changed because now you're not using that same process that we've used for thousands of years to battle that. There is legitimate fear. You know, you're going to surgery, that's legitimate. You're going to see right away, there's a reason to be afraid. I understand that. But there's a lot of psychological things that are not, there's no reason to even waste 2 seconds on. But you only get that when you actually live with the feeling. For instance, as I was coming up here, I felt just a little bit of discomfort, which we would all label as discomfort. But instead of labeling it as a discomfort, I actually just stayed with that feeling. I was like, let me explore this feeling. Where is this? What is this? And as I just went into it, it just dissipates instantly because there's nothing giving it energy to continue. If I sit there and say, well, it must be because I'm nervous to get up on the stage, or it must be because of this and this and this and this, you can go on endlessly in that direction and think you have the answer. When you have you just gave it life to continue again and again and again. But if you live with it for that second when it's happening, you'll see it. When you live with the actual thing, that actual feeling, it's not going to be bad, good, or indifferent. It's going to be right there and you're going to face it. And we just, as human beings, do not do that. We come up with all kinds of ideas and beliefs to justify or ignore what we're feeling. Thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for what you have to say.
Now, the truth is, some of us would like you to continue. Others of us have things to do and we need to get going. And
Okay.
I just didn't want to stress anybody out. And so we're going to stop right here. This will be a pause. If anyone wants to continue the conversation, join us next time for chapter 2, if you will. Okay? Thank you all for coming. This was an absolute pleasure.
But I do think we're more on the same track than...
A long day, but it was fun.
Because
I agree.